Sunday morning, calling back. We talked to him on Thursday night. Well, we're talking to him again because there's a lot more to talk about. The great Senator Roger Marshall from the great state of Kansas. Well, Senator Marshall, what the heck is going on? What do we have to look forward to? The midterms are coming up in about 3-4 months. Are we going to be able to keep the free world free?
Yeah, absolutely, John. And this is why I'm so optimistic. Eventually, at the end of the day, elections are about kitchen table issues, nothing more important than making a living. And I'm telling you, the economy back home is absolutely primed. In Kansas, we've got the best cattle markets I've ever seen. Oil and gas. Kansas has a significant oil and gas industry. Thanks to American independence, we're fueling jobs all across the state and making energy more affordable as well. Manufacturing, I think, is what I'm most excited about. Thanks to the Working Family Tax Cuts bill and all the tax breaks we give in manufacturing, we're seeing manufacturing jobs spring up all over the state as well. Listen, if you get agriculture right, if you get mining, oil and gas right, and manufacturing right, then the rest of the economy is going to follow. So I think that November election will be a reflection on the economy, and that's why I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get to November.
Is there any tough races you're worried about? I mean, I was worried about Minnesota or Michigan. Have you heard anything more about them?
Well, I think we're all kind of falling the same handful of states. I think that am I worried? I don't know if I'm worried, but I think Ohio's going to be very competitive. I'm very confident that John Husted is doing a great job working his tail off in that area. I'm very optimistic that we can pick up Michigan. I think we got a great candidate up there as well. But I think really what it's going to boil down to, John, you tell me the price of gas those last 2 or 3 weeks of October, and I'll tell you how those swing states are going to go on the U.S. Senate side. Now, I'm confident. I think we keep the Senate regardless of the cost of gasoline, but I think the way we keep our solid numbers or increase our numbers perhaps would be if that gas price is closer to $3 a gallon back home, $3.50 average across the nation as well. So that's why, we got to get this Iran war figured out and done with it. The president has to rip off the bandage if that's what it's going to take. But we eventually, at the end of the day, it's going to be about the cost of gas and groceries back home.
Understood. And interest rates, the new home prices, it went from the average of 29 years old that people buying new homes to the average of 41 because the interest rates were so high up. And hopefully the new Fed chairman is going to find an excuse to bring them back down again. I mean, inflation, as the price of gasoline goes down, inflation goes down.
Yeah, it is that simple, that energy cost, the cost of gasoline always leads us into inflation, and it's going to take us out of it. A good example, last month, we actually had negative inflation when you include the cost of gas and groceries. Negative inflation. No one's talking about that. But the government has responsibility here too, John. I think the big reason we saw inflation just take off like throwing gasoline on a fire under Joe Biden is federal government went from spending $5 trillion a year to $7 trillion overnight. From $5 to $7 trillion, we're spending $2 trillion more than we're taking in right now. So government has to do our job as well. We've got to be able to say no to these socialist programs. We need to fund the military adequately, but the Pentagon can tighten its belt up a little bit as well. So I've got to look in the mirror when it comes to inflation and interest rates. The federal government needs to cinch up its belt as well.
People that have kids, I mean, I'm sure they're worried about the Democratic Party is being overtaken by the Socialist Party, about having, I have a daughter. I remember her in gym class. I can't believe that in some states allowing men to go against women in gym class.
Yeah, John. So I've got 4 kids and 5 grandkids now, and one of the great lessons of life I ever had was getting to compete in sports. And girls' sports have grown so much since I can't remember when it all happens. Maybe I was in 9th grade, and just see the number of girls participating in sports quadruple over those next 4 years. So why do we take that away from them? And And boy, I'm just going to tell you, in Kansas, we're not going to let boys in girls' locker rooms or in the ladies' bathrooms. Biological men don't belong there. It's not right. But the Democrats won't give it up. They just refuse to give up that issue. You would think that, they've seen the same polling. I don't know, maybe. I think 90% of Americans are against boys in girls' sports. But they're not going to give it up. That's just it. They're still focused on DEI, socialism. They're still woke. And by the way, my opponent in my Senate race coming this year, the most likely candidate out there is a woke DEI person as well. So we just have to expose them, continue to just give them all the rope they need and let them keep talking.
Anything else you want to tell the people of America on a Sunday morning?
Well, John, I believe America's back. I think the president said it right. America is back. It was just a couple years ago. Our borders were open. Lawlessness was everywhere. Fraud was rampant. Now today, our borders are secure. The number of murders is a century low. Fentanyl poisoning is going down. The economy is picking up as well. We mentioned cattle industry and the energy and gas, oil and gas industry is going well back home. Manufacturing is booming. So I think America is back. If we can just get out of the way, the government's got to keep rolling back regulations, let this economy grow. We grow jobs, we grow manufacturing, mining, and agriculture. This country is going to do just fine, and I couldn't be more optimistic today than I've ever been in my whole lifetime. So it's going to be a great fall, and I just can't wait till November.
Senator Roger Marshall, thank you. Have a great Sunday. I'm going to head off to church and light a candle, and for all our sake, and God bless you, God bless America, and may God help us in our quest to keep the free world free.
A big amen, John. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.